All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're still in the middle of pre-race coverage. So we have a while to go. They adjusted the national anthem, so maybe 10 minutes until we go green at least. But I mean, they're going to have to make a couple pace laps, at least a couple, on this long track. 11 turns. .45 miles, so it's a pretty long track. And that's not counting the inner loop. All right, let's go ahead and look at our leaderboard and just run down what we see. So Brent Cruz, I mean, looking good. I've seen a few people saying that he's the next big thing, so he's definitely running or proving it there. Qualifying on pole, Ty Majeski second, Danny Hemrick third, Connor Mozak fourth, Connor Zilic fifth. Be interesting to see if Connor Zilic can move up. Don't know if I want him to, but I would like to see him run well. Giovanni Ruggiero sixth, seventh, Caden Honeycutt, and 8th, Shane Van Gisbergen. So starting further back than he's used to on these road courses. But, still within striking distance. Ben Rhodes, Carson Hocevar starting in the top 10. Chandler Smith, Grant Infinger, Lane Riggs, Tanner Gray, Christian Eckes, AJ Allmendinger. That will be interesting to watch because that will really be a show or a tell of how good those Ram trucks are. May not be very good. They haven't ran well all year, so if AJ can't run top, 15, which that's barely above where he is, but if he can't consistently run there, maybe make a run in the top 10, those Ram trucks are just garbage. Jake Garcia, Tyler Ankrum, Stuart Friesen, Tyler Rive, Adam Andretti, Andres Perez de Lara, Corey LaJoy, Cole Butcher back here in 24th, Justin Haley 25th. I would have expected a bit more from Corey and Justin. But again, they're both in Ram trucks. But, I mean, they have plenty of experience, plenty of road course experience. A lot of this field doesn't. And yet, they're getting outrun by the majority. Dawson Sutton, Timmy Hill, Brendan Queen, Minnie Tyrell, Nathan Nicholson, Wesley Slimp, Ross Chastain, Jackson Lee, Stefan Malazzi, and Natalie Decker. I believe, I don't know if this is her final time, but at one point in qualifying, she was 10 seconds behind the leader. So, within the first 10 laps, which was different conditions in qualifying, within the first 10 laps, she probably would have went a lap down. But we were under wet conditions in qualifying. Track seems pretty dry for the most part. What's the weather there in Watkins Glen? Rusty McShackleford says Hurricane Hocevar for the win. That's awesome. We'll see how he does. A lot of Cup guys in the field. I know everyone's looking at Zilic and SVG, but it'll be fun to see what the rest of the guys can do. Ron Fellows, Grand Marshal. That's cool. He nailed it. He nailed it. Just give me the weather for Watkins Glen. It's 55 degrees. By the end of the race, it'll be about the same temperature. Precipitation. Just small chances of rain. Looks like we're clear for the most part. Let me go ahead and open up my weather radar. We'll just take a look at Watkins Glen. We look pretty clear. If we were a bit further south, we'd be in trouble. Pull that open. Let's look at our radar there. Just some little blips here and there, but a lot of times on this radar, the blue, the very like weak rain, it's just clouds. They're just marking clouds. We've seen these pass over the tracks before, and it didn't drop a single drop of rain. Yeah, we look pretty clear. Seems like most of this is just going to track through Pennsylvania. And by the time the race is over, I don't think I'll have to worry about anything back here. Take that down. Let's see what Jayski has to say about today's race. Leave the radar up just in case. Go to Jayski. See you, Michael. Rain tires are tracked just in case we need them. I don't think we'll need them for this race. It looks pretty clear so far. As long as we get this thing going, I don't think we'll have an issue. Purse is almost $800,000. Bad. Both practice and qualifying this morning. So a lot of on-track action already. Good to have you, Steven. Thank you for subscribing. If you guys can, if you guys could like the stream, that'd be huge. I almost didn't go live today. I almost didn't because road course views are normally down. Last week we didn't do very well. We got kicked out of the algorithm or something. So, you know, I was really iffy. And it's also a Friday evening race. A lot of people are still at work, so yeah, I'm just not expecting much. We'll hold in here as long as we can. 72 laps. I was kind of surprised it was a 72 lapper. The cup race is 100 laps, so I mean that's a pretty decent chunk of the cup race. Stage is 20 laps, 45 laps, and 70. That's not right. Oh, at lap 20, at lap 45, at lap 72. Okay. That makes more sense. Thought they were listing the amount of laps per stage. Average time of race, 2.5 hours. Pit road speed, 40 miles per hour. Caution car speed, 45 miles per hour. And fuel window, 32 laps. So we shouldn't need any green flag stops in today's race. Green flag coming up in 5 minutes, according to the schedule. Brent Cruz on our pole. As we mentioned earlier, it's his first pole of the season, first at Watkins Glen, and the first pole of his career. Tom Majeski will start second, followed by Daniel Hemrick, Connor Mozak, Connor Zilich, Gio Ruggiero, Caden Honeycutt, and Shane Van Gisbergen. Did not qualify. Tony Breidinger and Destiny Spurlock. I don't know how to pronounce that person's name. Dystany. Fast facts for qualifying. Brent Cruz won the pole award for the Bully Hill Vineyards 176 at the Glen with a lap of 70.222 seconds, 125.6 miles per hour. That's his first pole in a truck race, first pole and top 10 start in 2026, first pole in 2 races at Watkins Glen. This is Ty Majeski's 6th top 10 start and Daniel Hemrick's first top 10 start at Watkins Glen specifically. Yeah, Ty sounds pretty strong here. We'll see how Ty Majeski fares throughout the race. It seems like he consistently finishes well here at the Glen, so keep an eye on that. Connor Mozak ran 21 laps in practice. It's quite a bit there. Yeah, Brent Cruz is a half-mile-per-hour faster than the rest of the field, faster than Connor Zilic in practice. No multiple failures. It looks like everyone's starting where they should in their running order. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and the Truck Series are running a similar tire this weekend. And it's the same tire they used when they went to St. Petersburg. And Jayski has so much good info. "8:05 p.m. Eastern is our time limit. Interesting. It should be about a 2.5-hour race. That's the average. But if we get a few cautions, that would greatly increase the length of the race. At road courses, the cautions just take forever. Should be going green here in the next 4 minutes, according to the schedule. Or no, 2 minutes. Yeah, 4:53 p.m. Eastern. There are 3 trucks to the rear, not based on inspection, but on unapproved adjustments. Dawson Sutton, Tyler Ive, and Chris Wright all going to the rear. Okay. Really good info there from Jayski. Gonna get my Fox NASCAR link refreshed. So before the race, got some people in here talking about Hocevar. We're interviewing him a little in the pre-race. I saw them interview him a few times this morning. They're talking with him about the Met Gala, if he met Sabrina Carpenter. He's played it really close to his chest. He hasn't confirmed or denied that he has, or that he did. But his buddy that went with him said that they did meet. Or at least he met her. So you would assume Carson did as well. Fun stuff. Look at all these turns. Seven turns for our cup layout. 11, that's what I said earlier. 11 for our full layout. That's with the boot. We were running Watkins Glen on Gran Turismo yesterday, and we ran the NASCAR layout, bypassing the loop. Just going straight from 5 to full course 10. That'd be NASCAR 6. A lot of people want us to run the boot. Actually go through there. Go through turn 6, 7, 8, 9. I just don't like it. It slows the cars down a lot. Watkins Glen, as it is configured, it's a very high-speed track. It's my favorite road course. But then when you add in the boot, it's some tighter turns, some elevation changes as well, but the cars really get bogged down. And these cars would especially get bogged down. All right, Michael, you have any picks for today? Cruz looked really fast in practice and qualifying. Ty Majeski, a lot of good finishes here. I think 6 top 10s. 6 top 10 starts, that is, here at the Glen. Then we have Zillage, Shane Van Gisberg, and Hocevar. Chastain's in the field. That truck hasn't looked very fast this year, but we'll see what he can do. And AJ Allmendinger. So a lot of big names in today's field. And we just have some stout truck racers as well. All right. Coming through 6. And into 7. Green flag. Brent Cruz going to jump out to the early lead. The inside line got a terrible restart. Or a terrible start, I should say. That was awful. Ty Majeski's going to hold second. Shane Van Gisbergen's already trying to move through the pack. Being really aggressive here. SVG and Connor Zilish already side by side. Good to see you, Stacy. Probably the only time I'll be able to say that this weekend. You guys have plans. I think it'll be a fun weekend for you too, so I hope to hear some fun stories. And if you guys want to post some pictures to the Discord, that'd be cool. All right, Brent Cruz, pretty good gap back to Ty Majeski. Then it's another decent gap back to third. Most of our still in 10th, not moving forward yet. All right, Connor Zilic getting by Gio Ruggiero there on entry to 1. So Zilic is driving the Trackhouse Labs truck. What is Trackhouse Labs? No clue. Ooh, I need to check in to our fan rewards. So this is your reminder, if you're a member of NASCAR fan rewards, go ahead and check in for this truck race. Get your points. Oh, you'll be here on Sunday? I almost didn't go live today. Good to see you, Doodlebug. I'm glad we did, at least for a bit. We'll see if we make it through the full race, but just typically views are down on road courses, and this is a Friday evening race, which is even worse. But I wanted to watch it anyway. I actually said Track Horse Labs in my Google search. Trackhouse Labs is a specialized high-tech engineering and fabrication division of Trackhouse Entertainment Group, focused on technical motorsports needs, custom vehicle builds, and innovative special projects. Hmm. Not a ton of information there. Zilich is pressuring. He's right on the back of Daniel Hemrick. May try to get him here on the entry to 1. I don't know if he's close enough here. 19 being a little defensive there on the entry to 1. Connor's not going to have a chance to pass there. He is going to look to the inside of the first S. Not able to clear. They have a really tight battle here. 4 cars for third position. Ross up 5. Tyler Reif up 6. Now, Tyler started in the back, so I would expect him to move forward. Carson up 3. Dawson and Chris Wright also both up 3. And so Dawson and Chris also started in the rear because of unapproved adjustments. The first tire barrier is completely unnecessary in turn 1. It just creates more problems than it prevents. There's a lot of mixed feelings about those tire packs. A lot. I like when they run wide, but I think after they saw the Xfinity race last year, they were like, yeah, we can't have that anymore. But this track has always had really wild wrecks. Not every year, but every few years you'll get one that we replay over and over. I posted one. It didn't get good reach because YouTube automatically reviewed it as being unsafe for advertisers. And so, like, it just failed to launch. Didn't get, it, like, stalled at 50 views. The weirdest thing I've ever seen in terms of shorts. Yeah, I mean, still only had 108 views, so not great. Weird that YouTube did that. I have some theories on what's going on there, but yeah, that was the 2002 Busch North Series. A massive pileup. One car went over the fence. Martin Truex's car was completely destroyed. Brent Cruz running away with it right now. Almost a 3-second advantage. Zilich has gotten by all the cars that were running off the pace from third back. Carson Hocevar's up to 6th, and SVG is 9th. SVG washed. He's going to have to beat the allegations. Michael says if we have green, white, checkered attempts, fuel will be an issue. That's a good point. Yeah, because we're going to... It could. They're going to throw the caution for stage 2 at lap 45, I think. Into the race is 72. We have about a 35 lap fuel window. So it could get close. But you also have to factor in we're probably not going to restart the race until like lap 50. So they're going to be able to save a little fuel there. But it would be close. Still. So under a full screen commercial break here. There's also an IndyCar race going on right now. I probably could have got more views covering the IndyCar race. It's over on Big Fox. Wonder if I can pull open the IndyCar leaderboard as well. It's going to pull from the NASCAR numbers, so it's going to be screwed up if I do this. It's not worth it. I don't want to screw up the leaderboard here. Watkins Glen has a history of wild wrecks, including J.D. McDuffie's wreck. There's that one, and I think it was 1979, maybe, they had a bad wreck. In 1979, most notable for treacherous wet conditions during open qualifying sessions. So it wasn't that year. What year was it? Ah, 1974. It looks like a 9. That's what my brain did. Austrian Formula One driver Helmut Koenig was decapitated in a fatal crash at the Watkins Glen Grand Prix circuit during the 1974 United States Grand Prix on October 6, 1974. His car went under a poorly installed safety barrier at turn 7, causing the fatal injury. His head came off or something. Whole head came off. Yeah, Watkins Glen. Definitely a history of wild wrecks. I mean, big wrecks in terms of hard hits, big wrecks in terms of multi-car pileups, and then fatal accidents as well. Interesting. Bandana, do you belong to a gang? Bandana. Oh. That's different. I bet Christian looks very pretty. All right, Ben Rhodes' transmission issues. He's going behind the wall. It's probably our first car out of the race. I could have seen him finishing top 10 easily, but now Ben Rhodes out of the race. '91. A lot happened in '91. Ben Rhodes will not win this race. That is excellent insight there, Michael. I am going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a decision, I guess. I think you're right. I think you're right about this one. Yeah, Marta's in the garage right now. Not yet out of the race. If that turns red, we'll know that he's out. Michael says his neighbor's car, its engine blew. That's unfortunate. We'll see if anything like that happens today in the race. '22 really off the pace here. That's Natalie Decker just getting run over by the leader. She's already gone down a lap. Oh my goodness. 2 laps. She had to have come down pit road at some point, right? 84-second lap times compared to a 72. She's over 10 seconds off the pace. Why is she employed? She should be driving to the unemployment line. 86 seconds, that's the last time around. She was avoiding traffic that time, but my goodness. Natalie Decker. What are you doing? Even our, normally slow cars, 76 miles per hour, 76 seconds. That's not terrible. It's 4 seconds off, but it is a road course. But to be over 10 seconds off the pace, get off the track. Just park it. Literally a rolling chicane. Chastain marked in 18th right now. Let's see if he can get by Corey LaJoie here. Those Nice trucks just have not ran well the last couple years. Not like they did a few years ago. And Natalie Decker has got to pick it up, that's for sure. It's weird having an Andretti in the field. And there's an there's an IndyCar race going on right now. You think, an Andretti would be off racing open wheel. All right, no movement there yet. There's actually a really healthy gap between Hocevar and SVG. Figured that would be closer. Connor's cutting the gap a little bit, but he's going to lose some time when he has to deal with Ty Majeski. Not going to be an easy pass, but he probably will get by him here. If the stage brake caution doesn't come out first. He's a little over a second and a half back from Ty Majeski. A little ground to close in. And then 6 seconds back to Caden Honeycutt. About a second and a half back to Daniel Hemrick. And another half second back to Hocevar. Natalie Decker, 103-second lap. What does she do? What? She's almost taking 2 minutes to get around the track. 2 whole minutes. My goodness. These guys are running 112s. She's almost running 2-minute laps. She's getting closer. Under a side-by-side commercial here, so we can still see. I need some water. We can still see what's happening on screen. All right, where is Lane Riggs? I have him marked in 10th. I believe he started 13th, so he's moved up a little bit. AJ has also moved up a few spots. I think he started in 16th. He's up to 12th. Not terrible. Running a 73.5. So he is faster than the cars ahead. Maybe able to pick off a couple more before the stage break. Compared to our leader running a little under a 73 flat. Only car on track running a 72 right now. Oh my goodness, Natalie Decker. She had to have pit. 153, you can't tell me she's still on track. That's over 2 minutes. That's definitely an outlap kind of lap. Yeah, I saw they had the black flag out. She was getting run over by the field. All right, Zillage. Only a half second back to Ty Majeski. Or only a half second to get there. closing in. All right, 4 to go. Coming to 4 to go. The Fox broadcast already had it marked as 5 to go. The leader crossed the stripe. It did not go down one. False advertising. Still on track. How does she have a ride? Period. Grant Enfinger on pit road. Is he trying to flip the stage here? This could be a really good call. Little issue there on Grant Enfinger's stop. Let's scroll back up. If we had 40 truck fields, we would have had 38 trucks with Tony Breidinger, Destiny Spurlock. What TV station are you watching on? You're from New Zealand and want to watch. This is on Fox Sports 1. But Tane, look in chat, okay? Follow these directions. Let's see if that bot works. Do exactly what the Stream Elements bot just said. If you're, I hope you're still here. Kane, I did not see your chat until just now. But if you go to that site, hypothetically, you should be able to watch the race. All right, yeah. So, Tane, the comment right above yours, just put BD12 into Google, and it should be the first link. That'll get you to the race. Oh, but you live in Scotland? Very nice. World traveler, then. You should be able to still use this site. I don't think it's geo-blocked. Let me go ahead and test it out. I just want to make sure. I usually do this every stream. Yep. The IndyCar race is on. Indy next. Indianapolis Race 1 going on right now. And the NASCAR Truck Series race. 91 issues there in turn 1. Little help there from Corey LaJoy. '91 got into one of the tire packs. That's going to shift it around a bit. For sure. Hope you enjoy the race. Brent Cruz, not a great stop, but he had such an advantage. In terms of what lap times he was running, what kind of gap he had, the intervals. So Hemrick's still out, marked as our leader currently. Giovanni Ruggiero second, Lane Riggs third. AJ Allmendinger fourth. This is not a bad call for Lane Riggs if he stays out to take points. I guess he is. Not a bad call there. Angrum, probably also a good call to stay out and take points. Not a bad decision. And LaJoy might he might get passed by Brent Cruz before the end of this stage. Let's check on Natalie Decker. Natalie Decker update. 2-minute lap. She did. I didn't think it was possible, but that's a 2-minute lap. So she's running half the speed of our leaders. This is ridiculous. Brent Cruz is pressuring Corey LaJoy. Might get by him here. Has about a half a lap to do it. That's for a stage point, so that's pretty important. Daniel Hemrick going to take stage 1. Pretty good gap back to second. Giovanni Ruggiero crossing now. Layton Riggs third, AJ fourth. So they're going to be further back in the pack when we restart stage 2. So this whole leaderboard is about to shift. Connor Zilch will be restarting potentially on the front row. So look at their lap times. Brent Cruz marked as a 73.9. Connor Zilch is 72. So Brent Cruz might have just been saving his tires instead of going for the kill on LaJoy. That's what I'm seeing there. Let's look further back. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of great lap times further back in the pack. You know, normally on ovals, you can go back and find at least one truck, one car that could be 10 places higher, that could be 20 places higher. It just doesn't have track position. Nope. These guys just suck. So the top 9, the whole top 9 should pit here. There's no way they can make it to the next stage. Yeah, there's no way they can make it. So Brent Cruz will reassume the lead. Connor Zilch second, Ty Majeski third. Stuart Friesen, I don't know if he pit. From this running order, I don't think he did. Jake Garcia, Tyler Reif, way higher than he was. He started the race at the tail end of the field. He's moved up a lot. Justin Haley moving up as well. But all of this is about to shuffle. Once we run one more lap under caution, a lot of these guys are going to pit. Michael says what Natalie Decker's doing is not allowed. She's got to pick it up within 3 laps, or otherwise her afternoon is over. I mean, we only ran like 19 whole laps, maybe 20. I mean, we threw the flag at 20, I guess. But she's already 7 laps off the pace. Ben Rhodes has been in the garage for over half this race, and he's only 6 laps behind Natalie Decker. She's on track. That is insane. Jackson Lee, 3 laps down as well, and Stephen Malazzi marked down a lap currently. We'll see if that holds. The pit signs are so cool. Everybody has their own design, able to see exactly where their box is. That's so cool. So Perez up 6 spots, Hemrick down 1. Let's see the rest of it. This is why NASCAR needs stricter minimum speed to make the race. The thing about that is that it gets harder to enforce the lower you go in terms of series. Like trucks, we could probably be a little more strict. O'Reilly doesn't need it as much. Even the back markers watch themselves pretty well. But the trucks, you know, it's barely a step above ARCA now. You have a lot more competitive cars in the field. But, I mean, when you have the majority of the field, like let's say 70% running within 1 second of each other, and then that bottom 30 falls down to running double your lap time, we can't have that. It's honestly wild. She was running like that in practice and qualifying. It's wild that they even let her start that far off the pace. Good night. Ben Rhodes still not marked out of the race. He might try to get back in this. I'll be right back, ladies and gents. I bet NASCAR would like to be more strict with the minimum speed, but once you do that, you're going to lose some of your backmarker teams. And other backmarker teams may be discouraged from even showing up to certain races if they know they're not going to be within that tightened window. So Cole Butcher restarting. They have him marked in 3rd right now. I don't know what's going on there. Interesting. Surely he didn't stay out. Hoping for a caution already. If this is accurate. by Ray Hall's shop. And AJ Ford's shop when I was in Indianapolis a while back. I think if I remember correctly, the Foyt shop is just like right outside of the track. It's not far at all. We actually passed it on our way out of the track. All right, on the restart, Brent Cruz on the inside, Karner Zilich on the outside. They're about to come through turn 7. That's the restart line. Karner Zilich holding pretty close there. Oh, we have a car on the wall. Cole Butcher hard into the inside wall. We stay green. Karner Zilich being really aggressive, moving Brent Cruz out of the way. Caden Honeycutt to second. Brent Cruz dropping back to 4th, maybe even 5th. Carson Hocevar into 3rd. Shane Van Gisbergen still in 6th. Chastain 7th. So a lot of these big names are filtering to the front. Cole Butcher got murdered there. Yeah, they have the Indy Next race going on right now, race 1 for the Indy Grand Prix. I mean, if I'm going to watch road course racing, Watkins Glen is my favorite of the bunch. But if I'm going to watch road course racing, I might prefer watching IndyCar at the Indy road course over a cup race in this Gen 7 car. That'll be an interesting decision. I'll be watching the cup race. Yeah, since Fox bought a portion of IndyCar, all of IndyCar's races are on Big Fox. So, I mean, that's huge for the sport. Chastain is gotten by SVG. Didn't see that. Have Ty Majeski 2 laps down now. Michael said he was on pit road with the hood up. It's not good. Cole Butcher now showing 2 laps off the pace with that massive damage on the restart. What is Natalie Decker doing? This hasn't updated yet, so I guess just she hasn't made it back to the line. My goodness. Zilich with a second gap over Honeycutt. Honeycutt not going away quickly. Hocevar is also a full second back from the car in front of him. So we have the field kind of spreading out here. Brent Cruz may pressure Hocevar here. We'll see. Cruz just may not have the truck he had at the start of the race. Let's watch his lap times. 72.4 compared to 72.3 for Hocevar. So it looks like they're running in the order they should be. Chastain might be able to get around Chandler Smith here if they continue to run these exact lap times. And SVG just does not have a decent truck today. I have to imagine he is capable of more than this. Adam Andretti, 11th. No, Natalie Decker's time is not updated. She's off the track now. Good, they pulled her. I was a little worried about that. But she's not out of the race yet. Ben Rhodes is actually back out on track. Ben Rhodes is going to be able to pick up a spot here. Good for Ben Rhodes. Not going to finish last today. Unless he has another issue. All right, Brent Cruz is looking, considering the pass on Hocevar. So Hocevar not able to keep up with our leaders, but still up here in the fight for a top 5. Ross Chastain's still running faster than Chandler Smith in front of him. Once we get back from commercial break, that may become a really close battle. SVG is 2.5 back from Chastain. Lane Riggs up to 9th. Was scored in 10th just a moment ago. All right, full screen commercial here. Fantastic. Let's take a look at what Twitter is saying. We have a shot of the start of the race. This was a wild start to the race. Just with the jump. This is the start of the clip. They're not even to the line yet. To the actual start-finish line. The restart line is like way back here. Where my mouse is. Where I guess that's Stuart Friesen, where his truck is. Way back there in the middle of the corner. And so Brent Cruz was able to get a huge jump. The inside line just didn't go. Let's look at the start of our race. All right. Lap 29 right now. We're going to be crossing halfway here on another handful of laps. Pretty clean race so far. All right, back from commercial break here. It says SVG playing possum. Let's see what the announcer says here. Back end's coming around on him there. Fuel pressure issue for SVG. Lap times aren't bad. That last lap, 72.9. That's faster than Caden Honeycutt, our second place truck. So it seems like Caden Honeycutt's truck, either he had a bad lap or his truck is laying down. Keep an eye on SVG. I wouldn't rule him out. Given the right circumstances, potential track position, maybe a late race restart. SVG is a tough racer. Oh, 81. That's Chris Wright. Off course. Ran through the gravel trap. They call it sand. Doesn't look like sand to me. I guess it's wet, really wet, from all the rain they've had. Mini Tyrell down pit road. Seems a bit early to come down. Ooh, could be a right front down for Tyrell. Man, we stay green. So 2 cars involved in that. Mini Tyrell taking out Chris Wright. That's going to hurt both of their positions. Probably not by a ton, but it definitely will. Still leading. Pretty good gap. And Ross Chastain is pressuring Hocevar. Keep an eye on these two. I think this. I think a lot of other people think this. Carson feels like what Ross Chastain felt like 3-4 years ago. Making wild moves, kind of ruffling some feathers. Making a lot of fans and also making a lot of enemies. Very similar, those two. Ross just had more competitive vehicles week in and week out, I think we would hear a lot more from him. Watch the changes in the last 15. It definitely could be. Definitely could. We'll see if he can just pick off a couple guys here. I mean, really, he could potentially pass his way up to 4th. These guys are really stacked up from Chastain back to back to past Shane Mingersbergen. So 4th to 9th, just under a blanket there. And then we have these genetic freaks up here, 5 seconds back, 3 seconds back. But it's definitely these three in a class of their own at the moment. Under another side-by-side commercial. Probably our last commercial break of the stage. I would hope so. 6 laps to go. Coming to 5 laps to go. Carter's Village through one clean. Almost a 3.5 second gap now over Honeycutt. Mini Tyrell did end up going down a lap there. Let's check in on Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes was able to pass Natalie Decker, who's still shown off track, not out of the race yet. Woo. Lane Riggs putting the bumper to SVG. SVG might actually lose a couple spots here. He's going to give it back, though. SVG, he's a nice guy, but especially on a road course, he will rough you up if he feels like you deserve it. Hard racer. Ooh, we may have a tire rub on the 4. Saw some smoke out of the... Looked like the rear end of that truck. Keep an eye on that. So Lane Riggs has gotten by SVG. And Andres Perez de Lara looking on the inside. Not able to make the pass into 1. SVG will hold the position for now. Yeah, he just doesn't have a great truck today. He's making the most of it, though. Probably running 30 spots better than someone else would be. I wouldn't say it's that bad, but... What is going on with the Goodyear blimp video feed? Dude, it's still freezing in Watkins Glen. Not literally, but it was a high of like 55 today. Tane said didn't watch NASCAR until SVG got there. But know about NASCAR and the history. Well, we're definitely glad to have you. And send more of your drivers. If they're going to drive the wheels off of it like SVG, I'd like to see a few more of them come over. It really keeps things interesting. And I wouldn't say every week, but maybe every other week, we hear from someone from New Zealand, from Australia, from Tasmania, you know, just wherever in that region. And they're like, oh yeah, watching SVG. It's like, that's awesome. So just his involvement and how successful he's been has definitely increased the attraction of NASCAR to an international audience. Now, we could hear of a big name running the 91 car at the San Diego race. I believe it's July 4th weekend at Coronado Naval Base. There's rumors that it's Max Verstappen, but that's probably not true. He said multiple times he doesn't want to do NASCAR. But there's some people that think Max Verstappen might be making his first Cup start in that race. But most likely it'll be another Formula One, ex-Formula One driver. Or maybe an IndyCar guy stepping over. We'll see. It could also just be another Australian V8 supercar driver. SVG might have put in a recommendation for somebody. All right, pits are closed. Zilic is staying out. Didn't see a lot of guys flip the stage this time around. Zilic is going to have to run back through the pack, and we've seen how far apart they get spread throughout the run. I don't know if I like this call. Sure, he definitely has a good truck. He has the skill, has the pace. But track position is so important here. So important. Because if he falls back to even, let's say, 9th. Let's say he falls back to 9th. They're 27 seconds off the pace. Now, obviously, he's going to pass a handful of them before they get deep into the run. But they need to be at least 4 seconds back, at least 7 seconds back. That is iffy. Hocevar got to second throughout some people short pitting, I guess. Interesting decisions here throughout the field. Where is Brent Cruz? Brent Cruz did short pit, I believe. And Ross also short pit. AJ probably did as well. So we have a handful of guys that short pit. All right. Connor Zilich taking stage 2. Really slammed the door there on Brent Cruz on that restart. If he's been saving, this is the time. This is the time to get it done. I thought the stage caution was going to fall lap 45, but 40. So I think they said the fuel window is 35 laps. We are looking at 32 laps to the end. That's close. If you throw in the overtime restart, that's a full fuel run. Kiwi power. He's going to need it here. It's a stout field for sure. I hope he gets up there. I would like to see SVG run these guys really hard. It was entertaining last year watching SVG and Connor Zilich fight in the Xfinity series, now the O'Reilly series. They had a few run-ins and as teammates, so that was always wild. But they're racing in all 3 races this weekend. They're racing in the truck race, they're racing in the O'Reilly race tomorrow, and they're going to race in the Cup Series race on Sunday. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Zilich and SVG on track. It would be shocking if we went a whole weekend without SVG at least taking 1 or 2 of them. All right, let's see what happens here on the pit cycle. We've seen how important track position is. Is anyone able to make up some spots here or potentially gamble? A lot of race left still. We are over halfway. All right, Lane Riggs, 15 stage points today. That's a really good points day for Lane. I think he'll be a contender for the championship, but he's going to have to go toe-to-toe with Brent Cruz and Caden Honeycutt, Potentially even Gio Ruggiero. We'll have to see. I don't know if that 17 is full time. Let's see what the leaderboard says. Yep. Doesn't have the I next to his name, so he is full-time declared for the Truck Series. Top 3 would be good. Winning is a bonus. It'll be a huge bonus on Sunday. He needs the points. Ooh, 62, nailing the grass in the dogleg. Knocked the front end off of that 62. That was Wesley Slimp there, doing some landscaping on the backstretch. It's a weird call there for Zilic to stay out. They're really putting this in Connor Zilic's hands completely. And he won't be able to ride around behind guys. He's going to have to be very aggressive getting back through the field if he loses a handful of spots here. Got his NASCAR jacket on as well. All right. Under commercial here. Once we come back from commercial, we should be getting ready for our last stage. Things are winding down here quickly. Michael says fuel's already an issue. It'll be interesting to watch how close some of these guys cut it in terms of fuel. It doesn't happen every time, but there are times where we come around for the last 2 laps, last lap, and we see some guys run out of fuel. We shouldn't see that here, but if we were to get a green-white checkered, not a green-white checkered, an overtime restart, then we need to be really worried. Trackhouse Tuesdays, 10 piece for $2.99. Not bad. Wendy's. like their nuggets, but I'd never go to Wendy's. Oh, guys, let me show this to you guys. Got a new diecast. Oh, the green screen doesn't like it. Let's see if we can fix this. Filters, we have it on 495 right now. So let's... you can see the green screen. So yeah, I have the Spirit Airlines diecast there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So as soon as I saw they were shutting down, like as soon as I saw it, I picked this up, and I got a couple of other things too. Let's raise that back to 495. I was a big fan of Spirit. I get the reputation, but I never had an issue with Spirit Airlines. And we don't have an equivalent here to Ryanair. You know, they're like the ultra budget carrier throughout Europe. And part of that's because a lot of our routes are further apart just to get from city to city. And you can go from country to country in Europe a lot quicker. That's part of that, part of the reason. But also, you know, some people were saying Ryanair could replace Spirit, but that's not possible because you have to be an American flagged. That has to be your country of declaration for you to operate in the United States. You can do international flights, but you can't do domestic if you're not an American carrier. I have a cable tie thing. One of the joints started to fall off. All right. On the restart, Chastain, Hemrick, Allmendinger, all in front of our leaders. Chastain really needs to push here. Chastain on the inside, really going to use up Hemrick there. Not able to clear. Close, but not quite there. Chastain will have the advantage into one. He'll get clear on the exit. Brent Cruz and Allmendinger side by side. Brent Cruz is going to get the position. Allmendinger is falling back. We are 3 wide further back through the S's. Oh my goodness. We're about to go 3 wide through the dog leg if they don't get it straightened out. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, they got it figured out eventually. Oh my goodness. SVG making some ground here. Almost turned Lane Riggs here. These guys are all over each other. We may see a cut tire here. We're 3 wide going into 6. SVG in the middle. He's going to get the advantage here. He's going to get both positions. My goodness. Some hard fighting. So let's keep an eye on Zilic. Scored in 5th right now. These guys are racing way too hard right now for us not to get a caution. They really picked up in stage 3. All right, Chastain with the lead currently. Himrick's holding off Cruz for now. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to hold off Cruz, but what this is doing is this is going to allow Zilich to catch up to Cruz. So Zilich, if he can get by the 1, will have the advantage here, and he can really go on the attack. And Ankrum completely slammed the door on Chandler Smith there. I would remember that if I'm Ankrum. I'm going to file that one away for the end of the race. Zilich is there. He is all over the back bumper of Brent Cruz. Woo! Chastain hanging it out there on the exit of 7. Full course 11. So Brent Cruz into 2nd. So that's going to gain him some ground away from Zilich. Zilich not able to clear Himrick yet. How long can Chastain hold off Brent Cruz? And can Zilich clear both of them in enough time? Gap is already at half a second between Zilich and Cruz. Zilich able to clear Himrick. They didn't show it on the broadcast, which is wild. All right, can Connor close the gap here before Brent Cruz makes his move? That watermelon truck is awesome. All right, Zilich has closed in a little bit here. Almost equal gaps between Chastain and Cruz. Zilich driving it in deep there on entry. Let's see if we can get a good exit here. Not really. So Chastain trying to hold on, trying to play strategy here. Christian says, thankfully this race isn't another SVG show. The top 9 guys are saving us. It's been a real battle. I mean, a lot of stout trucks. Really, throughout any point in the race, there's only been 2 to 3 guys that were competing for the lead. But aside from the top 3, everyone else is pretty evenly spaced. Seen a couple of incidents, but nothing big enough to bring us under a full course yellow. Zilich and Cruz, contact there. See if that hurt the left front at all on Zilich's truck. And will Brent Cruz want to repay the favor? Zilich locked it up the track. So it wasn't intentional contact, but they were all over each other. Almost pushed Brent Cruz into one of the tire packs. I think we're going to see that on Sunday. We're going to see someone get punted into the tire barrier. And it's going to be awesome. Or the tire pack, I should say. Ross not doing a bad job. I would like if they'd show the left side of Zilich's truck. See if there's any damage there. Doesn't look like it. And Chastain is just wheeling this thing around the track. Just trying to hold the lead. Doing a good job right now. He has the cup experience. He has the truck experience. A couple advantages. And track position. I think that's the most important thing. He has the lead. Zilich a half a second back from Chastain. 20 laps to go. That's the length of our first stage and our second stage. So if we stay green, we're looking at another 30 minutes potentially. Going under what looks like a full screen commercial, yes. Exactly what we're getting. See if we have a replay posted of anything on the Twitter. Oh, we have a replay of Wesley Slimp running through the grass. Doing some major landscaping there. I think you can see the splitter break off. Look at the debris on this left side it kicks up. Right here. Oh, no. It could be a strip of grass, but it looks like the splitter. Is that the splitter coming off? I mean, that looks an awful lot like the splitter. Zoom in. I mean, it just dug it and snapped it off. So Wesley Slimp, no splitter on the front of that truck now. Just a valence like it used to be. He just nailed that thing. Here he goes. Watch that splitter. I love these Liberty Mutual commercials. There's lore. That Safe Light commercial. I know what I'm hearing. I know what I'm hearing. It took off a chunk of the truck there. That was wild. I think one of the times I remember that happening, it wasn't grass. It was the turtles and the curbs at the Indianapolis road course. And I forget whose splitter it was, but someone's splitter broke off and stuck under one of the curbs. It was wild. Only a 10th difference now from when we went to commercial break. Now 2 tenths. Zilich is 3 tenths back. He's driving really hard into the corners. Not able to get a great exit, though. Just holding station on exit. Tyler Reif is impressive to highlight him because he started towards the tail end. This is a very track position heavy place. He's made the most of it. Natalie Decker's back out there. She's only running 30 seconds off the pace now. 25 seconds, really. That's just... What are you doing? There's still enough time for her to catch up to Cole Butcher. There may not. It's going to be closer. We're on 55. Yeah, maybe we should have enough. But will Natalie even make it? Like, she's already 36 laps down. She may drop a couple more laps. So if she goes 38 laps down, then I don't think she'll pass Cole Butcher. Yikes. For some reason, I don't foresee her surviving that race without a DNF. And Ross is just all over this. I think Zilich is just saving, not really saving his stuff, but taking his time. He doesn't have to push the issue. He can just wait to see if Chastain has to pit. And what Ross is hoping for is a caution that requires a ton of cleanup. That way they run several laps under caution where he can just shut the car off and save. Exactly, Bristol 2.0. All-time radio moment. JC, good to see you. I saw you were up late last night. I think I saw you tweet something or reply to someone's thing. I don't know. At least I saw it really late at night, early this morning. I'm guessing Zilich takes the lead and wins. If there's a caution, maybe Cruz wins anyway. The 9 stopped. On the, I guess, the exit of turn 1, we may see a caution here. Can Infinger get it refired? This could be the caution. They need to show Infinger again on... There it is. Caution. Now, here's the thing. Is Chastain good enough to hold Zilich behind him on a restart? Another disappointing day for Grant Enfinger. But he's still going to finish ahead of Natalie Decker. Wow. Well, this is going to save Natalie as well from going down another lap. She may still go down another lap, but not yet. All right, that's our first caution for incident today. Even though we've had a couple cars get together, Cole Butcher really hard into the inside wall. No cautions. I saw Michael was live before the race. All right. So who's going to come down pit road? SVG maybe could come in and take fresh tires. Person's back to fifth. I mean, that's right. I was kind of surprised to hear that Frankie was choosing not to run this weekend. But then someone told me like his team was third or fourth in the standings or something. So I guess it makes more sense for him to be over there. And I wouldn't doubt he runs more competitive over there. So overall, it's probably a better learning experience to be in the GT3 car. So SVG down. A lot of trucks coming down pit road. Now, this could tighten up the field. I don't think this is going to instantly turn our leaders into, mid-pack cars. I just think it'll tighten up the mid-pack a bit to the leaders. I still think we're going to see our leaders gap the field if we run green. Position by attrition. It's a good way to put it. Let's wait for our leaderboard to update here. Spots. I had a dog named Spot. It broke its back several times. He was a wiener dog that was not good at staying upright. And it would go up the steps and then fall backwards and break its back. And got it fixed a few times. And then finally it just was so bad that Spot had to go to the big doghouse in the sky. All right. Ross is taking the outside here. All right, he may have just been running high on the track. We haven't seen exactly where he's going to restart yet. I mean, does he dare open the door on the inside for Zillage? It's going to be a battle of who gets the better restart. And then Ross has to hope to get a big enough gap. He needs another 2 to 3/10 gap. Because Zillage, he's shown he's not afraid to door someone for the lead. And that was early in the race. Let's take a look back here. Yeah, I mean, not bad. I mean, it's not abnormal to see Frankie Muniz finish about 25th, 26th, but that's usually in a race with a ton of guys having issues, getting involved in wrecks, mechanical stuff. Kind of a similar story here. But he is... I know Ty's had issues, I know Ankrum has had issues, but he is in front of two very stout trucks there. A lot of big names back here. That's nothing to sneeze at. All right, so Ross is taking the outside. Will we see a big enough wreck on this restart to bring out another caution, or will we run green to the end? Austin Dillon's saying no chance we run green to the end. We'll see. And does Chastain have enough fuel? Really aggressive restart for Ross. We have one car around. That's Hocevar. This will be a caution. Potentially. He might be able to get it refired. Nope. We are under caution. not only is his truck potentially stuck, also he could have left debris. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of stuff along the track that could be mostly rubber. So that's going to help Ross even more. We didn't even make it to turn 1. A disappointing end to Hocevar's day. He's had a rough week. Aside from the Met Gala, he ran pretty poorly from what I saw. I don't know if he improved, but he was running pretty poorly in his dirt late model races. It's just not his discipline. He's not very used to it. But this truck race did not go well either. I don't know. Did Allmendinger get Hocevar, or did Hocevar Allmendinger? I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's late in this stream. This race should be over. These 2 cautions ruined it for us. We had momentum. Vraylar. I see it doesn't help hair growth. Saw the commercial, you know what I mean? Let's show a replay of the contact between Minnie Tyrell and Chris Wright. So it's that lower right box. Just clears him out, and that sends Chris Wright all the way through the gravel trap. Or sand, as they called it on the broadcast. Made it all the way to that grass strip. Was able to keep it going. Not bad. As much flack as myself and many others gave Chris Wright the last couple years, he has definitely improved this year. That's good to see. I like seeing drivers improve, run better, improve their racecraft, make less bonehead decisions. And another look at Wesley Slimp ripping the entire splitter off of that truck. Man, dug in deep. Oh my goodness. Ross Chastain. Restart violation. Well, Ross Chastain looks like he had a shot to win it, but they just sent Ross to the back. Restart violation. Ross tried to game it a little too much, and they're going to send him to the back here. So all of that good racing, all for nothing. That's wild. So Ross just jumped it too early, I guess. Such a good run they were on. It's going to get derailed here. I do some Googling. What's the chance Cruz ships Zillage? If he has a shot, he's definitely not going to cut him any slack. I don't know if he'll run into his back bumper or if he will just clear him out running wide, you know, getting into his side. We didn't even make it to turn one last time. We were expecting potential issues on entry to one, and we didn't even make it to one. So who knows? So leaderboard still hasn't updated from Ross falling out of the lead. You can see him further back. He said, "Oh, you think I jumped that restart? Watch me jump this one." Ross is about to get a huge run here. Do the new walls suck? They really haven't made a huge difference today. Whoa! Ruggiero just walled Connor Zillage. That's Honeycutt and Zillage both locking it up. Ruggiero's going to go to the inside again, and a huge wreck behind. Tire packs getting destroyed. The tire packs weren't a problem until you mentioned it. Oh my goodness. Gio Ruggiero needs to be taken out back and shot. I'm sorry, Gio, but just doored Zillage on exit. They're dooring each other under caution here. Lane Riggs front end's ripped off on that truck. Not able to get it refired yet. So under caution again. You brought it, Double A. You brought it. So Hosmer out of the race is still going to beat. Oh, Natalie Decker retired from the race. She was or did have a shot to run down Cole Butcher and at least pass him, but that's not going to happen. Yeah, is Michael Waltrip an idiot? Is it just because they're not at the track? Are they at the track? I guess they would be for this race, for sure they would be at the track, right? It was clear as day what happened to Connor Zilic. Gio Ruggiero just ran him up the track and into the outside wall. And Michael's like, oh, is that why he's angry? Yes, it's why he's angry. Christian Eckes isn't going to be able to finish the race because of stack of tires. I feel like this is going to happen in the Cup race too. Oh, man. Oh, man. Golly. It's 2 hard hits there. This is what the tire packs invite. I hated the decision to go back to tire packs. I mean, if anything, dig it up, put sand, put gravel, put grass back. If you don't want guys running wide, the runoff is there to save guys' cars if they overshoot the corner. And it's also to prevent us from having to throw a caution to dig a car out of the gravel trap. But you're going to put tire packs in the middle of the runoff. I mean, you could just do the yellow line rule where it's not an actual barrier, but just say, don't go past the curb. Don't go past the curb. If we deem that your left sides are completely over the curb, you get a violation. Are the drivers not smart enough to deal with track limits? Has anyone dominated the race? AA asks. Brent Cruz was stage 1. Connor Zilic was stage 2. Chastain on strategy didn't really dominate, but he led all of stage 3 until his restart violation. So now we have Connor Zilic angry at Gio. Gio's, I don't know what he's doing. And Brent Cruz behind him. So we have 3 guys all angry at each other, running 1, 2, 3. So the announcers didn't blame an Allmendinger on that accident there, but when guys run wide into 7 and out of 7, you have to allow the car on the outside a chance to get back onto the racing surface. If you don't, you get an accident, what we saw there with Hocevar. I was thinking to myself, Hocevar's already like up against the wall. The grass jumps out right as soon as they get off that rumble strip. So Allmendinger perhaps should have gave him a bit more room there. Christian says Butterbean looks like he's in the catbird seat here. We'll see. It's the highest Florida Ram's been all season. AJ there right behind him. Mini in 7th somehow after the issues he's had. All right, we're gonna run, I guess, another commercial break here. At least one more lap. I hope we make it to the end here. I want to go do stuff for the rest of my evening. I actually want to do some stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see what's available to do. Wait, do we have a replay of that last caution yet? No, they retweeted Kevin Harvick's happy hour. But they didn't post anything about the crash. go to the Craftsman Trucks page. So we have a replay of Hocevar's incident. Pull that up. And then we'll look here in a second if we have a replay of the big one. I think Allmendinger could have cut him a break there. What I saw on the onboard is it looked to me like Hocevar went wider than normal. And he tried to resume a normal line, but Allmendinger had come up the track to fill the gap. It's kind of a reverse incident to what happened to Kyle Busch last week. Let's see. Restart violation. That's the green flag. So we don't have a replay of that last one yet. No. All right. If I see them post one, we'll pull it up. All right. Can we make it to the end here? I think if we can run one lap clean, we might be good to the end. That's a big if right now. Still no replay of that last incident. All right, it's going to be Zilich on the outside, Ruggiero on the inside. Ruggiero may want to repeat what he did this last time. He may use up Zilich again, and could that open the door for Brent Cruz? All right, Waltrip saying we're going to get one more caution. Let's see if that holds true. All right, Gio, really good restart. Really good restart. Zilich with an advantage here into one. Doesn't have the inside, though. More contact between Gio and Connor Zilich. More slipping and sliding. Gio had to save the truck. That's going to open the door for Brent Cruz in second place. Connor Zilich clear right now. 4-car battle for second place. Caden Honeycutt's really going to follow Gio through. Are they able to make it through the dog leg clean? Zilich, a ton of ground. Brent Cruz chasing it up the track through the loop. So move Honeycutt in a second. They mentioned hard hit, but they're not showing it. Fox coverage sucks. Apparently, Ross Chastain had a hard hit. They're not going to show it. Oh, 56 lot of damage. He's still... That's Timmy Hill trying to make it around the track. We stay green. Caution? Caution is out. Michael Waltrip was right. We did get at least one more caution. Oh, yeah. Ross Chastain's truck. He went from potentially winning the race, running for a top 5 at the minimum. Let's see what happens here. Man. Interesting. I think Majeski could have been a bit more generous there. All right, the front end completely torn off of that truck. I mean, just punched out. That's a weird pattern of damage. Front end, the splitter completely torn off of Ross's truck. Now, speaking of behind, I need to speed mine up. I haven't done that all race. Which is probably good, so I'm not spoiling it for people. Whenever I watch the race on Antenna, I have to hold my tongue when I see something wild happen. All right, we're going to go back under commercial break. Again, this race just won't end. It just won't end. Please, just let this end. We're going to see Connor Zilich and Gio Ruggiero go back at it again. And I wonder if there's going to be bad blood between Caden Honeycutt and Brent Cruz. SVG not completely out of the picture yet. AJ there in the top 5. Really good run for the Ram trucks today so far. We'll see if they continue to fall through the running order here. Not bad. Double A. Gifted a Corgi. That's 1,000 joules. Thank you. What's a corgi? You know, it's a dog. I don't know why that's a thing. That's awesome. Thank you, Double A. Very generous of you. Yeah, that's a brand new feature. They just added that. It was announced to me maybe a month ago, and then I got the email about it, I think last week. And it was originally a vertical stream feature because they wanted to be like TikTok, where people can just donate like stickers and stuff. So what they did is they replaced super stickers. You know, they had super chats. They also had super stickers. They are replacing the super stickers with the jewel system. It's all this stuff, but thank you so much. That means a lot, Double A. You know, I'm just happy you guys, you know, show up here. That means a ton, but especially showing your support, like, monetarily. That's huge. That's really huge. And a good shot in the arm after the awful weekend we had last weekend. Last weekend was horrible. I knew this one wasn't going to be great in terms of views because of the, you know, it's a Friday evening race. It's not a great time slot. Most people are still at work when this thing went live. And it's a road course race, and it's a truck race, and so that's like 3 strikes, you know. So at 182 right now, I'm pretty happy. It's like bits on Twitch. Yeah, similar system. Like you buy the jewels and then you select which gift you want to send. I haven't even looked into it yet, so I don't even know what all they offer. Next time my buddy goes live, I'll send him some jewels, and I can see what it's all about. Gio Ruggiero restart violation. It's gonna be Connor Zilic and Caden Honeycutt potentially on the front row. That's a super delicate call. Like I don't really like that call there. That was barely. That wasn't egregious. That they say you went early, but so on the broadcast you'll see a white line they cross. That's the restart zone. That's the start of the restart zone. That was such a weird call. Like technically by the law, by the letter, he did violate the restart, but there were circumstances that led to it. Plus, he was right there. He was within 5 feet. Yeah, Double A says that wasn't as bad as what Ross did. That's exactly right. Exactly right. And we almost didn't go live today. I wasn't planning on it. And then right before the race, just sitting there, and I was like, I'm going to watch it anyway. This race will probably end before 6 p.m., which it did not. So I'll go ahead and stream. We'll just see what happens. I'm going to be sad when my hand sanitizer runs out. During the stream, every single stream, whenever I have time, I just spray my hands with this hand sanitizer. So I have some very sanitized hands. Very. Some say the most. All right, how much does Caden Honeycutt want this? A little damage there on the left front. A little more contact, and that could become an issue. And will we see people run out of fuel? I mean, after all these cautions, you would think no. But maybe even just a stumble and having to switch to the backup pump, that could be enough to cause an issue. All right, I saw SVG was one of the guys going to the outside. So Zilich outside, Caden Honeycutt inside, and Brent Cruz behind Zilich. I don't know if Cruz would help out Zilich. I mean, that would hurt his teammate. And will this be our last restart? We almost made it that last time, and some back markers. I wouldn't call them back markers, but guys running the back of the pack brought out the caution. Ty Majeska and Ross Chastain getting together. Brent Cruz kind of got Zilich unhappy there on the exit. AJ tried to go 3 wide. Not able to get there. Caden Honeycutt to the lead. And SVG is making a move for third. This is dangerous. If there's another caution, SVG is there. Can Connor Zilich run Caden Honeycutt back down? It takes a while to get a good run here at this track. You have to choose exactly when to make your pass. It's such a high-speed track. Little wide there through the loop. You're going to keep it as close to the curb as you can through that loop. Yeah, SVG showing up. All right. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Brought to you by Credit One Bank. What is Zilich willing to do for a win here in this lower series? I don't know if he has the same truck he had earlier. He's taken a lot of damage over the last few restarts. And he's actually gapping Zilich. This is Honeycutt's race to lose. Zilich through the grass there a bit. Not a good loop for Zilich. Gonna lose some ground here. Caden Honeycutt, he just stole this win. Just straight up stole it. And I think he has Brent Cruz to thank. Zilich couldn't get the power down because Brent Cruz got into the back of him in the middle of the restart zone. Well, congrats to Caden Honeycutt. I'm not happy with that win. I don't feel like it was, like, I don't know. I feel really bad for Zilich. Zilich got used up. On multiple restarts, Zilich got used up. And there at the end, kind of got ganged up on by 2 teammates. So if they show that restart again, or if you want to go back and look at it, Brent Cruz gets into the back of Zilich, and you see the rear tires break traction. And that slowed him up just enough for Honeycutt to stay side by side through the exit. If Zilich had gotten a run on that restart, he would have cleared by turn 1. That didn't happen. Yeah, good day for Honeycutt. It just doesn't sit well with me when you have other... I just feel bad for Zilich. Brent Cruz, not as much. He fell back after stage 1, didn't come back up. And Ross Chastain, I feel the worst for. They played the gamble and strategy. They were making it work. There at the end especially, it didn't look like Zilich had the same truck he had earlier on. So if we had stayed green, we're possibly looking at a Ross Chastain. Probably looking at a Ross Chastain win, or possibly looking at one. Christian says Zilich got used up by a Tricon truck, and a Tricon truck wins. Yeah, that's what stings so much. It's not like it was even like AJ going for it. It was another guy. And you don't get into someone's rear end in the middle of a corner, and that's exactly what Brent Cruz did, so I'm not sure what else he was expecting. It just seemed a little orchestrated there. All right, let's see what Caden Honeycutt does. There's a ton of debris there on the inside of the track. They didn't clean it up very well after Hocevar's accident. Probably just race debris, though. Tire stuff. Little giblets, maybe some tape. That's all very scientific. I want to see if Honeycutt goes into the stands. That's why I'm still here. All right, Caden. The ball is in your court. I want to see him go into the stands. Is he going to be a man of his word? And where's the crossover gate? Like, where are you able to go through the fence? Well, congrats to Caden Honeycutt. Congrats. He wasn't my pick to win there at the end, but it is kind of good. You know, part of me is somewhat happy that a full-timer won the race. How is he going to get into the stands? I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this off unless they open up a crossover gate somewhere. Sometimes they'll have like an actual opening built into the fence. So they might have one of those. Zillage got momentum going into the O'Reilly and Cup race. SVG also. SVG had a rough day. He definitely didn't have a race-winning truck, but he made the most of it. I think he'll have a much better shot tomorrow. You might see a Zilich and SVG showdown. Let's go. I like seeing guys this happy to win a race. That's so cool. He didn't miss the shift. Brent Cruz nailed him. Great interview from Honeycutt. Yeah, isn't that wild? I said it when the race started. This was going to be the tell of how bad those trucks are. And I was thinking, if AJ doesn't get a top 10, they might as well close shop. Let's do it. He already has one. And they have the ladder there ready to go. Just climb over it. Tony Stewart this thing. No, you gotta go into the stands, Caden. You're lying to me. Open up the fence. Man, I wanted to see him go up there in the crowd. Come on. Whoever dropped the ball on this and can't get the gate open, we need to try them in front of a military tribunal. They just robbed us of a very cool clip. We were so close. We were this close to greatness. This close. That would have been potentially a highlight of the weekend if he had been able to do that. I wouldn't doubt maybe later they open it up and he's able to go up there, but the broadcast will be done by then, so disappointing. Yeah, he might need more practice. Me speaking as someone with zero experience doing that. He needs more experience. All right, ladies and gents. We'll go ahead and wrap up here. If he ends up going into the crowd later, hopefully we see it on social media, but looks like the crowd's clearing out for the most part. Disappointing. I always wanted to see this, but whatever. This is why, we don't have stars in the sport. We have people that won't open fences. We have drivers that aren't willing to climb fences. Tony Stewart would have done it. The drunk guy at Richmond that one year, he would have done it. But yeah, we'll wrap up here. I might see you guys later tonight, but more than likely I'll see you guys tomorrow for the O'Reilly race. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. And until then, have a good one. And until next time, don't